Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by again. I did see you guys, some of you guys saw my Architectural Digest video that I reacted to about them showing that 575 square foot apartment and that whole little pottery studio in there. I thought it was really cool. Today we're reacting to something different. It's by CNBC Make It, and it is about how the Jack's Links Jerky brand came to be, which I think is really cool. So without a further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, guys, before we get into this video, I didn't know I said without a further ado. I think it's important to ask, since we're watching a video about jerky, are you guys fans of jerky? I am a 50-50. I'm more a fan of like meat sticks than jerky per se. But if someone gives me some Jack's Links jerky, I'm not gonna say no. So comment down below right now if you guys are a fan of jerky. So let's see what we got going on here. Off the rip, I did not know Mr. Beast had a Jack Links collaboration. That's a news to me personally. That is absolutely amazing. I know he has had huge collaborations. I mean, it's Mr. Beast, one of the largest YouTubers ever, I think, or individual YouTubers, because there's channels with more, but they're like corporations. But Mr. Beast is a corporation now, so who knows? Sorry, let's get back on topic. The meat.
Imagine you own a small family business that has just declared bankruptcy.
Oof. Have you guys declared bankruptcy yet? Fortunately, I haven't. I hope you guys don't. That would suck. But let's see what we got going on here.
You're trying to figure out what to do next. How would you reinvent yourself? Well, if you're Jack Link, the founder of Link Snacks.
I did not know Jack Link was the founder of the Jack Links jerky. That is absolutely amazing. That's like me being the founder of Felix Co. I mean, that could be. You never know.
Inspiration might strike on a hunting trip with your son.
We were out hunting and we didn't get nothing. It was really a cold day. And so we stopped at the store and Troy bought 4 or 5 pieces of jerky and I said, wow, that's expensive. Well,
yeah. That is one thing I think we've all noticed about jerky, is that it's like $5 to $10, depending on the size of the bag, for like 4 pieces of meat. I remember I bought the round pieces, the round jerky, they're like yay big. It was like $20 for a bag, and I was like, well, I still bought it, but that is true. It is very expensive, and I wouldn't want to say it's hard to make, it's dried meat. But let's see what he's got to say.
he said, if you don't like the price, go home and make some.
That first batch of jerky was the first step in a business strategy that grew Link Snacks and its most popular brand, Jack Links, into a snacking behemoth. Jack is now retired, and his son Troy is the company's CEO. There are 3 numbers to look out for in Link Snacks' story.
Oh, did I say 1985?
Jack is now retired, and his son Troy is the company's CEO. There are 3 numbers to look out for.
Yep, 1985. That is when Jack's Links was established. I didn't know that. I never cared to look at the packaging much. Probably says it on there. But, damn. That's a long time. It's like 40 years. Fuck. Let's see what they got going on.
Or in Link Snacks' story. $1.6 billion.
$1.6 billion Link sales retail. It's not terrible if we're being honest, especially because it's a food. But it's an expensive food. Hold on, maybe they'll explain more to us. I'm missing something here.
Link Snacks U.S. retail sales in 2025. $10 million. Link Snacks' first ad buy for its Sasquatch marketing campaign.
$10 million. Link Snacks' first ad buy for its what? I didn't even know they did this.
And $450 million. Link Snacks' 2022 investment in a
2022 $450 million. You're telling me half of their sales for 1 year went to a factory? Oh. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's a 400,000 square foot factory. You could probably pump out a lot of meat.
100,000 square foot factory. Here's how a father and son duo turned their family meat business into a protein snack empire. This is Founder Effect.
Founder Effect.
Meat snacks have come a long way since Jack Link started his business in 1985. The meat snacking industry grew about
Meat snack brick and mortar sales 16% year over year, or like since when? 2024?
16% between July 2022 and July 2020.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the charts. You know what I'm saying? 16%, 4 years. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a whole billion. And I guess I never thought about the meat snack industry. So they're saying the whole meat snack made about $5 billion in 2026. So that means if they sell a whole billion, that's like a fifth of all the revenue. That's crazy.
As of December 2025, the sector reported about $5 billion in brick and mortar sales, and Link Snacks accounted for about 33% of that revenue.
33%. That's crazy. Yeah, see, look, this is the stands I'm talking about. You see these stands everywhere full of Jack Links. Should we get into the meat industry, guys? That's kind of what it's starting to look like to me. So let's find out.
Protein's part of the food pyramid right now, and the consumer is really back into eating a lot of protein. I mean, all of your GLP-1s, I think the category is really set up to continue to grow.
According to marketing research firm Nielsen IQ, in 2025, Link Snacks brought in over $1.6 billion in domestic retail sales. The company declined to provide CNBC Make It with its own internal financial documents, but did say that Nielsen...
If CNBC Make It were to show up to your business, if you run one, maybe to your job asking for your W-2, are you gonna give it to them? Like, whoa, I know you're making a nice piece about us, but why are you gonna look at all the money? Or are you the IRS? Let's see what they got.
IQ's figures do not include sales from Amazon, Costco, or international retailers. It says those sales could push their total 2025 revenue to over $2 billion.
We should be doubling the company minimum every 10 years. I'm hoping to be faster than that. I would hope to be in more product categories, under the Link Snacks umbrella.
The Link family's story begins in the tiny village of Minong, Wisconsin.
Whoa, what?
Under the Link Snacks umbrella.
The Link family's story begins in the tiny village of Minong,
Wisconsin. That's a sick-ass name. Let's see what we got going on in Wisconsin. I be watching some body cam footage videos, and Wisconsins are always the best. I don't know what y'all got going on over there.
Wisconsin, where Jack Link's great-grandfather, a German sausage maker, settled in the 19th century.
Whoa.
It was all big pine trees, and people came here and homesteaded. And then I came along, and then Troy came along.
The Links owned several businesses, including a car dealership, a general store, and a slaughterhouse, which went bankrupt in 1985.
Oh.
He was 40 years old when he filed bankruptcy.
40 years old and you filed bankruptcy in 1985. So yeah, this man is old. I suppose it makes sense that you go bankrupt later in life because when you're young, like now, like you don't really have much debt. Like you might have a credit card, you might have a car, a personal loan maybe, but when you're older in your 40s, you got like mortgages, you got kids, you got fucking health issues, you got all these things that like really eat away at what maybe at one point was enough for your family or for you, but not anymore.
At a big manufacturing site as a family, you needed to do something that could make money. And we tried more things than meat snacks too. We tried frying potato chips, we tried making Rice Krispie bars, we tried all kinds of different things.
See, that's what being an entrepreneur is all about, just trying everything until something sticks. That's really all you can do if you want to be like your own boss. You can't just, sell sand and no one's buying sand. You got to try everything until something sells.
Early on.
It was around that time when Jack and Troy, then 15 years old, took their fateful hunting trip and decided to go full steam into the jerky business.
We dug up my grandpa's recipe and put some meat in our smokehouse, And that was the first time we made jerky, and it turned out so good that we said we can sell it.
The Links say that at that time, there weren't many food companies that devoted their whole brand to the snack.
When we started in the jerky business, there was no category, and of course there was no machinery. So we made our own machinery and developed a category with my son.
We were already making hot dogs and bratwurst and Landschlager and a lot of German sausages for the grocery stores. So we already had smokehouses. We already had a lot of slicing, stuffing equipment, and we had a lot of meat. So this is an inside round, 100% trimmed. Everybody loved them and everybody wanted to buy them. And then, we just started coming up with more ideas and more ideas and more flavors and more.
That's interesting, and I love that. How I knew a lady who would make these 100% organic products, right? Like for women. So there's this thing called rose water that I didn't know women used. And I asked her, like, well, what's in it? And she goes, it's just rose water. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And yeah, it is literally just boiled roses and water. And then you put it in a spray and you spray it on your face and it smells good. And people loved it. So now she just makes these products of like 100% organic soaps and people buy them. It's incredible what you can do if you just have like a good product. You don't even have to try to be selling it. She was just making it for herself, which is what's even more amazing about all of it.
Shapes and more sizes and more ways to serve the consumer need.
Troy Link says that he worked in all aspects of the business from a young age.
I got to work in the manufacturing facility. I got to work here at our company headquarters through high school. I worked all the trade shows through college and started to know the customers, and I had a sales territory. So I think I got hooked really hard during my university years.
By the time Troy left college in 1993, Jack Link's had one nationally distributed snack. It's beef stick and cheese combo pack.
Okay, beef stick and cheese. Maybe it's just because I'm not a huge fan of cheese. I could eat cheese, but not like, I wouldn't just eat a cheese stick. Can you guys tell me in the comments what's up with beef stick and cheese? I'm trying to figure it out for myself because maybe I'm the one that's in the wrong, But let's go, whoa.
Troy says he felt his father's business had more room to grow.
I think he was doing about 25, 30 million in annual revenue.
Okay. You need to do better, Dad. You're only doing $30 million in revenue, That's how you gotta be talking to your dad if you want to be rich.
That time. So it was a very small business, not very.
Okay. It's a very small business, $30 million a year, which technically I think the government considers any company doing below $50 million a small company, a small business. So SBAs, anyone doing below $50 million in revenue, I believe you can qualify. And I guess if you're doing $1 billion now or $2 billion, 30 million really is just like a rounding error.
Many team members, but great product. We never had any ambitions to grow it to what it is today, but we definitely had ambitions to.
I think that's it. That could be disingenuous. We've never had any ambition to grow it to where it is today. You have to, or else you wouldn't have gotten where you are, right? Right? Like, what do you mean you didn't have any ambition? Like you don't get to $30 million a year with that ambition, and you don't get to $2 billion a year without a bunch of ambition.
Serve the consumer need state and expand out of the Midwest.
The company took out bank loans to expand its manufacturing facilities.
Yeah.
We were short on capital because we were family owned and operated, and we didn't start with very much money. So we had a facility right here in Minong, Wisconsin, and we continued to expand it. We continued to add smokehouses. We continued to reshape the facility to be a really good meat snack facility.
Link Snacks also began buying out competing businesses in the surrounding area to acquire their manufacturing spaces.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what John D. Rockefeller did. He'd buy out all the local nearby competitors for his oil refineries and then just shut them down. So he's the only one doing it. He would just do anything to get them out of the way. Like you said, to get more manufacturing space, that's really smart. If you have a business and there's no more space because of zoning or whatever, maybe buying out your competition is what's best because, then you get the manufacturing space and then you can't compete against you. You can make more shit. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's see what they got.
The expansion came about as more and more Americans began turning toward protein as a prime source of nutrition.
The Atkins diet, when that hit, everybody wanted to eat meat.
That in turn led to more convenience and grocery stores seeking protein-heavy products like jerky.
Nobody had been carrying a product like that, and we needed more space. And we started to carve out 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 foot end caps in C-stores and in grocery stores and really make this a category. That really helped us, and it was a huge breakthrough when we got into producing.
So what they're trying to tell me is they created the meat snack industry, essentially. Which, first movers, you know, that's how you get 33% of the market share of the $5 billion. I want to know what kind of profit margin they're running, because that's revenue is, you know, revenue, whatever, right? You can make $100 billion in revenue and lose 101, you know, it's still, you know, you still didn't make any fucking money. But 1 billion and you're running at a 70% margin, that's $700 million a year. So I want to know what kind of margin they're running.
Bag products and broke through kind of the $5 price point. Who would have thought that we'd sell 10-ounce bags of jerky and pounder bags of jerky for $20 to consumers, but they're big sellers.
Despite the growth of their product space, Link Snacks had yet
$20 pound of jerky. I have never seen those. I'm not looking enough. That's what I'm starting to realize. Holy shit.
to run any serious ad campaigns.
I think we were doing $300 or $400 million a year in annual revenue before we really started marketing. And we
what? $300 to $400 million a year before they started spending any money on marketing. Homie thinks he's Elon Musk for real. That's really good. I know. Wow, I don't even know. I want to do that. What the hell? Let's see what they got going on.
We tried a couple campaigns and they just didn't hit. I said, listen, we're not a big corporate America brand. We are a family-owned and operated, fun.
I guess I missed that part in the beginning. It's family-owned, family-operated, which is honestly amazing. I love that. I wish I could build a business that like my kids will run and my kids' kids will run, my grandkids, great-grandkids. But truth be told, eventually someone's gonna get too greedy once you're gone. Or maybe you do, you know? Shit, you're gonna give me $1 billion right now? Take it, I don't give a fuck. I'm $1 billion out.
New, innovative category. Our marketing has to match that.
Then, in 2006, the company launched an ad campaign starring a legendary cryptid.
Bigfoot.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
The Messin' with Sasquatch campaign, developed by Minneapolis ad agency Carmichael Lynch, appealed directly to the 18 and over demographic.
We came up with this whole...
That's true. Whenever I think of Jack's Links, I think of the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the big hairy man yelling at me. So, it definitely worked.
Feed your wild side, and then your wild side moments, which was your call to action to get your meat snack, your protein moment.
Link Snack spent $10 million on ad buys for its Sasquatch campaign.
That's what they meant. Okay, that makes more sense. The $10 million on the Sasquatch. I thought they meant like Dr. Squatch, the soap brand. You know what I'm saying? not him specifically. That's really cool, and it makes sense. But you're spending $10 million after you make $300 million a year. Like, come on, bro. It's like 3%.
On channels like ESPN, Comedy Central, and Discovery. The campaign also went viral on YouTube.
That was the whole drift of the campaign, and it took off like wildfire.
Within 2 years of the Sasquatch campaign launch, Link Snack sales grew by 47%.
Oh,
We saw immediate sales.
Holy, what the fuck? 47% growth from that Sasquatch? Damn. That's what puts them to $1 billion.
Sales results immediately return on those marketing dollars that we were investing, which was wonderful because we wouldn't have been able to continue. Like I said, we had to be in the center of the bullseye.
Link Snacks continues to expand. In 2014, the company bought the meat snacking division of British consumer goods giant Unilever, giving
Unilever. If you pay attention to your foods, you will see this U on a lot of things, actually. That's really cool. And they bought it out? What the fuck?
it a foothold in the UK and Europe. 5 years later, it purchased the Asian-inspired Golden Island jerky brand from Tyson Foods.
It felt risky, but I was very familiar with the brands and I was very familiar with the market, and I felt really good about what we could do with the business, so I felt that the risk was worth the reward.
In 2025, Link Snacks opened a new $450 million manufacturing plant in Perry, Georgia, which can produce up to 820,000 meat sticks a day.
Whoosh. Almost 1 million meat sticks a day? Holy moly. That's a lot of meat, dude. That's a lot of. That is a lot of cows that die every day. Holy shit.
That same year, it announced a partnership with YouTuber Mr. Beast. However, the company still faces challenges. The price of beef hit record highs in 2026, due in
Really?
part to tariffs on foreign beef imports.
See, I knew it. That's way too many cows. What the fuck? I'm like, there's no way they're using up all America's cows. No, foreign meat. I don't know. I mean, it's a sodium meat stick, so I guess I can't be complaining about, you know, it being transported overseas or whatever. Damn. Let's see.
Troy Link, who supported President Trump's 2024 election campaign, says fluctuating prices are just part of the business.
You know, we live in a worldwide supply chain, and I think that there's a lot of effects in a global economy that different economies drive. There's always going to be ebb and flows in commodity pricing.
Yeah.
Link says that regardless of price points or advertising, what drives customers to Jack
and he's
Links
very
is
right.
the
I own a mechanic shop, and when tariffs first started, I remember being like, whoa, because like we had like let's say a $100 part, all of a sudden it was like almost $200 with taxes, and you're like, what the fuck? And I guess, you know, that is part of business. And the problem with it is a lot of companies don't just lower their prices after things leave, you know. They will continually keep charging you that marked up price because you're already willing to pay for it, so why would they charge you any less? And that's like a weird thing I've noticed in business, you know. It's crazy.
quality of its products.
We really control everything from the cow to the consumer. So if we don't like something, you know, we've only got one place to look, and that's in the mirror.
They control everything from the cow to the consumer. That's how it should be. You gotta control the consumer, and you gotta control the source. So that's fucking beautiful.
Work really hard, show up every day, stay curious, stay passionate, help solve the little problems before they become big problems. I have a lot of laughs at myself and us when we make mistakes and how we're gonna fix them. And if you stay value driven and you live in the values that we've created on behalf of this organization, it will help guide you to do the right thing.
That's beautiful. Well, yeah, guys, that's that. That is how Jack Link's billion-dollar empire was built in about 20 minutes. I think we can go deeper into it. It's 40 years of history. I could definitely do like a more in-depth research about this, like my previous videos. I'll go ahead and think about that. Maybe it'll be like a cool little Figma presentation, or PowerPoint presentation, whatever it is. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you're interested in anything business related. Growth related, please, you know, put in the comments things you'd like me to do, react to. Maybe you want to ask me from my personal experiences. I'll talk about me and running a business and how that came to be and what to do and what not to do. Thank you for watching. See you guys.